Last time on the Adventures of Gaia, Aristodemos asked the party to go to the Hotel Utopia and find someone named Krellin. Aurora discovered she could heal robots by touch. At the hotel, they found many bodies and a bloody symbol of a phoenix. Seeing this, Ruja remembered being rescued by beings known as the Angels, rumored to kill criminals and slavers. With so many dead, a faint life sign led the party to a closed door.
Ruja, you open the door and pull back. Magnus stands there with magic to the ready. Aurora and Reaver kind of standing a bit further back. And the door opens to this single room. You see that it's a typical hotel room, smaller, the same blue carpet. There should have been a bed in here, suspect, but instead you just see gold curtains and a being tied to the chair. Krellin, could you please describe yourself?
You see a gentleman in a rather tattered-looking suit, but still fairly presentable. From what you can tell of him sitting down, he is a little bit shorter, and his skin is semi-translucent and scintillates a little bit. He's got red eyes, one of which is cybernetic.
He also looks like he has been seriously beaten. He's tied to the chair, and he is currently unconscious.
Okay, Ruja will walk up. He's currently tied, so she doesn't feel threatened. We'll put away her sharp bow and cast entropy, heal him.
Okay.
A little bit, and see if he wakes up. So that's a 73 on a 146. So
nice.
It's been like 3.
Okay, Krellin. You start to feel consciousness come back to you. You're pretty sure you're about to wake to see the faces, familiar faces, of your torturers right now. And instead, you find a party standing before you. There's a rather beautiful lavender woman. You see a orange-skinned woman. She's got intensely long green hair.
Magnus looks like this, and that's exactly what his hands look like right now, because he's about ready to cast. He doesn't know if you're an angel or one of the demons or what's going on. Oh my goodness.
And Riva, who there's a smaller, younger guys in at the back of the party.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I look just like that. And surprisingly enough, spot on accurate.
Hello there, my darlings. Have you come to finish the torturing, or are you just here for a good time?
It depends. What's your name?
The name's Krellin.
Thought so.
Oh, good. Okay,
What?
we're just here to save you.
Oh.
Mr. Krellin, why are you coming up?
You know how it goes. You piss some people off. They mercilessly beat you within an inch of your life. You know, the usual things.
They are usual things.
Oh,
Aristodemos wants you, so come with us.
Oh, yes. Do I know Aristodemos? Okay, well, I'm eager to meet this Aristodemos fellow.
He usually takes interest in interesting people.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily consider myself interesting, but if any of you would be so kind to untie me, I would be happy to collect none of my things and be on our way.
+1.
Is there a way to get him detached from the chair without untying him?
No, he's actually the hands are tied directly to the posts of the chair.
Okay, fine.
Magnus says, wait.
But
Mr.
what?
Krellin,
But we
what happened here? And why are you left alive when everyone else here is dead?
Magnus, let him tell us when we leave.
Yeah, let's get out of here. And this is the guy we're getting. How could he know? We'll just untie.
What if he's one of these angels and he's going to kill us?
Do I hear that?
Yeah.
I can assure you, my friends, I'm definitely not an angel. And I wink at Magnus.
That's nice.
Well, if he wasn't one of the angels, then he must have been one of the criminals.
Well, what if he was captured?
That's a little bit closer to the truth, yes.
Okay, they're not sure if you were referring to Magnus's statement or Aurora's statement. See, I told you. He was captured. Look, he's captured.
It is strange that they did not free him. I will say that.
All right, I think I have an idea. All right. Magnus Witchborn is no Shadowblade, so he's not that wise in the ways of using phase and cloak, but he does know he can cast the spell. Mm-hmm. I'll try to phase the chair only.
Okay.
Leaving him tied and we can pick him up and get him out of there. Mr. Krillin, I'm going to try to free you, but until we know more, I'm afraid I'm going to leave you bound.
Why don't we just
You're more than welcome to leave me bound, darling.
Okay.
Magnus, your plan, I'm not sure what it is, but you will leave him simply with rope bracelets.
Yeah.
Yes, I suppose.
+1, Rusha.
Trying to fit that in.
I don't think that... Look, we should vote.
All right. I'm sorry, Mr. Krillin. Wait here. Okay, they turn into a little circle.
I'm not going anywhere.
Look, Aristodemos said we were supposed to get him, right,
I
Rusha?
don't know if I trust Aristodemos.
Well, that's silly. I mean, I know I just said that a bit ago, but he said to come get him.
I don't like the look of this man.
Can I just pop him in the right here in the shoulder and phase him through the chair?
You could definitely try. Yeah.
I'm gonna. While everybody's arguing, I'm gonna get him out of his stuff.
Okay.
All right. So let's see if I do this. I have to roll under a 102, which they're 73. So success.
Okay, you're successful. The party is arguing. You're kind of accustomed to Aurora and Magnus's bickering back and forth, but now Rusha's in there as well. And you just, Krellin, there's the green-skinned guy comes up to you.
I'm lining you up.
You're not sure what he's gonna do. Okay, you put your hands on him and phase him. Suddenly you become insubstantial for a moment and you fall back through the chair and you're reconstituted. You're standing there.
I was not disappointed.
Well, okay, the three of you turn.
All right.
So you are freed. That makes us your angels.
If you would like, as I said, more than happy to be bound.
He's a little weird, Roja, but okay.
Magnus, if you would like to bind him, feel free to do the honors.
We're gonna look weird walking through the streets with a guy tied up.
Yes.
Yes.
We may even draw the ire of the angels.
I don't want them angry at us.
Oh, very well. Okay, Magnus goes over and says, "We're going to have to trust you, Mr. Krillin. Please don't."
We don't have to trust him. We just have to transport him.
He's actually not tied up. He was offering to be tied up again, I think.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
+2, Riva. Good thinking. All right, the party awkwardly and not maybe perhaps the most organized party you've ever encountered, Krellin, turns. You come out into the scene I described earlier. Again, Krellin, even for you, it's a bloodbath. It's as if someone went through not only with the intention of killing everyone, but to punish everyone. You see that phoenix on the doors.
Would I recognize that at all?
You also have heard the same legends that Ruja spoke of them being mostly after crime circles, and particularly the Black Cabal has had a lot of run-ins with them. They're almost ghosts spoken of within the circles of the Black Cabal.
Well, I should be dead. And I look around. How tattered is my blazer right now?
Actually, it's not bad. It was you physically that suffered the most.
Okay, cool.
Other than a bit of blood, but it's mostly on the black. It's okay.
We'd best get out of here before these angels come back.
Yeah.
Oh, I think they've done what they were going to do. For whatever.
Have you simply confused them? It'll be interesting to hear your story.
Yeah, let's do it back at the circus, guys.
On the way back.
I think I'll feel better when Aristodemos sees him.
Is the elevator working?
Okay.
It might be on floor 13 right now.
Okay, it's actually it's gone boop, boop. Now it's coming. It's actually come down. Aurora hits the down arrow, and it comes after a bit. You stand in front of those doors and look at that symbol as the blood is still slowly running from the tips of the phoenix wings.
Okay, Magnus would like to commit this symbol to memory.
It is burned into your memory. It's probably burned into a lot of your memories, except Aurora seems more concerned with the bodies about. But you absolutely will have no problem recalling it at a later date.
Is Magnus smart enough, or street smart enough, to pick up some of the ammunition to use to trade that he sees lying around?
Minus 50. You've been quite traumatized by what you've seen.
I did roll a 10.
Okay. Yep, there is some, there's lots of ammunition. It's in amongst stuff. You can pick up, if you don't want to go swimming through intestines and such things.
Not really.
Okay. You pick up 10 bullets that are kind of clean-ish, if you know what I mean.
Okay, there's like a clip of a handgun sitting somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, Magnus
got some
thinks,
blood on it.
I'd like to pick up one with no blood on it.
There's none that don't have blood on them.
Okay, he grabs it. He goes, he wipes it off on something.
Okay, there's a face looking at you.
I'm sorry, friend. I might be able to put this to good use, and it's a clue as to who you might have been.
+1. Talking to
Okay,
the
he takes the clip and he goes, he puts it in his belt.
Okay, the door's open. Bing!
Okay, he quickly goes, and goes towards the elevator.
When you came up the first time, you didn't notice. This time there's slight elevator music. Okay, you go down. Okay, you come out. You make your way, unless anyone wants to do anything else in this hotel.
Is there a bell at the front desk to ring for someone?
There was on the counter, yeah.
Okay. I'll ring it.
Okay.
But then we'll leave.
Okay. Bing! Aurora looks. She kind of draws her hands up as if she's expecting something very scary to jump out. But no one seems to come.
Just double checking.
Yeah, you'd want to tell them they need to deal with that.
Clean up on floor 2.
+1. Okay. Okay, you make your way out through the revolving doors. They're an interesting group, Krellin, but they seem to be willing to take you with them, given this Aristodemos person has said to come fetch you. You're not really sure who this is or how he knew you would be tied to a chair. And you eventually make your way back to what they refer to as the circus. You see these carts all around. There's people milling about. You see various interesting people. There's a pair of women just walking together. They match perfectly. They have white curly hair and they walk stride in stride. They both give a sidelong look at you and keep going. They kind of smile at the party that's been there. You see a guy with a pink mohawk. His Gaia skin has been attenuated to have tattoos. He's got piercings. He nods over at the group. And where the party seems to be looking is a dapper gentleman in a silk beautifully. You appreciate the beauty of this tailored suit. You haven't seen one quite so nice before. He comes out. He's adjusting his tie. He walks up. He sees your party and smiles. Nah. Hello.
Mr. Aristodemos.
His face falls when his eyes fall on Magnus. Yes, Mr. Magnus.
Okay. Magnus marches up. I really must say,
Don't get into trouble. Aurora's talking behind you.
I can handle this. I have something of a complaint, Mr. Aristodemos. This last place you had us go to was positively disgusting. And there was some danger, some whisper of demons or angels or something.
Magnus, we live in a circus, man. What do you mean disgusting?
I agree. The conditions are squalid, but it's not. We don't live in an abattoir.
Okay, Aristodemos, when you spoke up, he smiles at you with his charming, charming smile. Everyone feels the wave of Aristodemos' charm go over him. Krellin, you can roll a save versus, roll your MR. This is the first time you've encountered him.
Ah. the hell did the other one go?
You're blown away by Aristodemos.
You're like, yeah, that
Literally.
was a crit.
Okay.
5.
You feel the intense charm come off of him and the desire to, for a moment, to pledge your loyalty to him, and then it passes. Magnus, are you all right? Do you need some help? Would you like someone to make you some soup?
Well,
Dang it, that's gotta be me.
Would you want to work... +1. Do you want to work poor Riva outside of his food-making hours?
well, no, of course
Or
not.
perhaps you could just accept that you may not know what's best.
Well,
All right, then. Krellin, I would like to welcome you to my fantastical circus.
Oh, you must be Aristodemos. I have heard very little about you, and I'm curious how you know me.
I see my companions have not... I guess they wanted to leave the mystery all about me. Well, this is me. And this is the
I
circus.
knew you are.
I know about you from around, and I know we can work you in here somehow. From what I understand, you were recently in a bit of a bind.
A bind is a very apt description of my predicament, yes.
Great. Well, perhaps we can find a place for you here. You'll find safety from everything that may be troubling you.
It sounds like a marvelous idea. I'm more than happy to lend a hand.
Great. I think that I'm afraid we don't have any space for acts right now, and I'm not quite sure where your talents will fit you in. But I know that Riva needs definitely could have some help about in the mess tent. Don't you think, Riva? He smiles at you.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Do you cook? Do you clean? You clean. He cleans. Yeah, we need help.
I am apt at many things, and I'm sure I can learn on the fly.
Riva, you just promoted yourself out of cleaning duty.
Do.
You're
Wow.
like, now I don't have to do the dishes. I'm gonna make food. You think about what your signature dish might be.
I wouldn't have thought he'd be my favorite character the first day I met him, but here we are.
All right, Magnus goes, but Mr. Aristodemos, do you not think that we might bring the ire of these angels upon us if we take this man in?
Magnus, you once again are worrying about the wrong thing.
So, Aristodemos, I would prefer a warning next time you have me get someone via a trip down memory lane.
Ruja, he puts his hands out to you, as he often does, and takes your hand. It wasn't quite as I expected. I do apologize. Please forgive me.
Thank you.
He kind of puts his hand against the side of your hair. All right, now, if we can all get back to business here. Riva, you can show Krellin around the mess tent and his new duties of taking care of things. I'm sure you will learn lots about each other, and that will be great to hear. He smiles at you. The rest of you, we don't have a show tonight. Tomorrow night is our last show, so I'll think of something. He turns and walks away. Her goes.
Mr. Aristodemos,
Mm-hmm.
when you have a moment, I would speak to you. I am still very eager to learn of how you came to know of me.
Yes, of course, Krellin. But right now, there's dishes.
Of
Okay, he
course.
walks. His little, you see the little robot that was in his pocket reach over, or come up over his shoulder and look at you and whisper something in his ear, and he nods and he goes into his lovely decorated wagon, which is the nicest of any around.
All right. Riva, I believe you have some things to show me.
Yeah, my favorite part of the day. Come on.
Okay. You head off to the mess tent. Ruja and Magnus and Aurora are left standing there. I just think I want to go wash my hands.
Yes, and I'm going to have to wash my cloak, my tunic now.
Sorry, but it was gross.
He softens. He says, "It's all right." He pats her hand.
Okay.
So I'll join you to the wash tent.
Oh, okay.
Ruja will look at that, interestingly, and walk in the other direction.
Okay.
Does Magnus realize the sexual innuendo he made?
Aurora definitely doesn't.
Okay, Magnus does. He goes, oh, he looks at Ruja when she's walking away. He goes, I didn't.
Magnus, if you're coming, come on. Come. Hurry up, Magnus. Come.
Oh, yes. Okay, yes. I'm coming.
Even better. Yeah, that's what Ruja hears as she's walking away.
So the night passes. Magnus and Aurora, you go to the wash tent together. And as expected, you wash your hands and your cloak and nothing else. Ruja, you spend the night in your wagon.
Yeah, it's probably a quiet night.
Mm-hmm. You're glad there's no performances tonight. You probably would have canceled your own had there.
It would be quiet if I didn't show up.
Can I lock the flaps of my...
Yeah, you have a lock. You definitely have a lock on.
Well, she would have her own wagon, probably.
Yeah.
She does, yeah. But it will have a lock. You ignore any knocks or any please. You know that Riva...
For tonight.
Yeah. Riva has come to check on you at least once. He seems concerned and Riva-ish.
Yeah, I'll let him... I can't right now. So
okay.
that'll be in the morning.
All she'll hear is, if only you were home, you would know how much your friends cared about you. And then I'll leave.
Nice. +1.
Yeah.
As Riva's leaving, I wait.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what?
Distance away, and
Yeah.
I come up behind him and I just put my arm around him and I say, "Hello, friend."
Hey, you did great today.
Oh, I appreciate that. Now, it's nighttime and we don't have work until tomorrow. Where's a good place to have fun around here?
Asking the right person.
Yeah. Oh, shucks. At times like this, I really love going back to our crowded bunk cart and just kind of listening to Magnus get flustered.
Well...
Here. Walking across as he says this, you can hear talking Aurora and Magnus talking in a wagon that's the doors open. You see all these rope style hammocks hanging all over, and Aurora saying stuff talking to Magnus, and he's being very studious. He often reads.
I found a very interesting book about snails.
See, look at this. This is the best. And
While this does sound appealing, I was thinking a little bit more on the dancing side of things. I mean, this is a circus. We have to have some form of entertainment here.
I don't know if I dance.
Oh, everybody dances, my friend.
Riva cannot dance, and that's going to be part of the storyline from now on. So.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
It's now my mission to teach Riva how to dance. Also, I do want to note, when I was cleaning, I didn't get a speck of dirt or anything on me.
Oh, okay.
My ridiculously high coordination.
You had an apron around you, and even the apron is spotless. When you were done, you were like, there we go. Everything's stacked beautifully. Everything is organized.
Mr. Krellin, I have a few queries for you, sir.
Of course, I'm more than happy to oblige.
You haven't really explained to us why you were tied up in that dreadful place.
Oh, as I said, my friend, I got into a little disagreement with my former employers, and they didn't terribly like me too much after that.
And who were your former employers?
Well,
They were the former. You shouldn't be so nosy.
they're not the most well-known people. I'm sure the names wouldn't ring a bell.
This is weird, because I'm going to take Magnus' side. Because, like, we found him tied up. Questions?
He was captured. Captured means not on the bad guy's side. I mean, all the bad guys were killed.
Yeah, that's not normally how my tying up sessions go. There's a lot less death.
I don't know what you mean, but okay. Why would you want? Should we be practicing tying up? Like, is that something we should do?
If you're into that sort
of something caught in my throat. I'm sorry.
my apologies, my good man.
I'm really confused. Reva, do you know what?
I've got to go to my wagon for a while.
You share this wagon with us.
Head off. Do you know particularly where we could get some entertainment going?
Well, I do believe the Rough Hands and some of the musicians, they party and dance and drink most every night. I feel them and hear them over in the common tent.
Well, as my would-be rescuers, let us head over and have ourselves a merry time until the night becomes day.
Oh.
Let's celebrate my freedom.
Okay, Aurora looks at Magnus and Reva. We normally go to the library, and Reva and I hang out in the stinky cart.
Yes, the stinky one.
The library is all good and well when you're trying to research and learn, but now is not the time for that. Now is the time for celebration.
But I just came up with a very interesting book on snails.
Let's go to the party.
Oh, and that book's not going anywhere, my good man. And he grabs whoever's closest to him and just starts walking in whatever direction Magnus roughly pointed in.
Well, okay. Aurora rolled 100 with paying attention, and you grab her. She gets you pull her. Oh, okay, we're going.
Okay, Magnus looks at Aurora and says, maybe it'll be fun. And he reaches for her hand.
Okay. She goes, come on, we're making like a train or something. I don't know what's going on. Aurora tries to grab and you miss fingers as the moon shines behind you.
Do I notice that?
You do notice a bit, particularly Aurora's facing away from you, but you see, given the circles you've run in a lot, you recognize a certain longing in Magnus's eyes.
I slow down so he can grab her hand.
You +1. Okay, Aurora grabs your hand. 99. Okay, come on. Okay. Magnus, What do you feel there?
All right. Magnus feels a swell in his breast. He tra-la-las after her.
My goodness.
Come, Reva. We're going to be frivolous.
we intend to be frivolous, my fine young man. All right, you head off to the Reva. You kind of follow them. You're like, nah. You know that the parties that happen mean there's cleaning after. So you're like, oh god. But then you remember you no longer are the cleaner.
That's right.
Suddenly the party's looking a little fancier to you. You get into the tent. There's much frivolity going on. There's music, quite lively music made out of whatever was kind of available. Someone has a synth flute, but other than that, Frank, who has the mohawk, the fire breather, he's just banging on random junk he's found around. People are dancing. The table's been kind of shoved, just kind of knocked over. You see a few broken glasses. Reva, you're like, don't have to clean that up tomorrow. And you guys enjoy partying.
There's alcohol, I'm assuming?
Oh, yes.
Yes, I get drinks for the party. It's many, many, many drinks for the party.
Okay. Everyone can roll their metabolic rate that is partying.
I don't know if this has come up. If I heal someone, does that heal effects of alcohol, or is that not something that can happen?
It wouldn't necessarily sober them up immediately, but it would definitely get rid of that poisoning so they would recover quicker, yeah.
Okay, so no hangover.
No hangover.
sobriety incoming. But
Yeah.
Okay. I was just curious.
Good question. Excellent question. Okay, you party. Magnus, you're feeling the alcohol you feel is more appropriate to maybe cleaning things than consuming.
This alcohol content is probably 80 proof. I do think Turk and Cozy could use this in their speeders.
Oh, maybe that's where they found it.
It's all the more fun, my friend.
All right. Did you all make your metabolic rate?
Yeah.
I made it.
All right.
Yeah.
Magnus, did you drink or no?
Magnus felt it and is like, that's enough. I'm getting enough alcohol just pouring into my pores. I'll just put this over here.
Your hands get a little numb.
In fact, he
from
gets
feeling
quiet.
it.
He gets quiet and he's kind of segregated out the rest of the night. And he just kind of looks longingly at Aurora the whole night.
Oh man.
Oh no!
I wanna.
I Aurora out onto the dance floor, and I act as if we're all dancing together, and then I just disappear.
Let's see if Magnus's dancing is as good as it was rapping that happened.
Am I dancing?
Sure. Yep. Don't make it part of your act, but good job.
It's quite fun.
+2. All right, you party well into the night.
I'm in charge of cleaning duty, correct?
Yes, you sure are.
Before I leave, I tidy up the bar.
Okay. You preemptively start as the night winds down. You're like, party guys, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna clean some of this up. Like the host who's like, party's winding down, get rid of this stuff so I don't have to take care of it tomorrow.
The bags are over there. No, hold on. No, and that goes behind the. No, wrong. The other side of the. Okay, hold on. No, just give it to me. I'm gonna end up like, this. He doesn't know what he's doing. So I'll end up.
Magnus.
So I guess Riva and I clean up.
Very good.
Magnus, did you bring the snail pad? Not now.
They have ichor.
Yeah, things have ichor. All right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean not to pay attention to you.
Well, Krellin, much to your... Well, there's still some happiness. There's new people, new things. You've gotten away from the situation, which is fabulous and worth celebrating. You find that you were the last one partying. You're up on the table, dancing away. And then as everyone goes along, Aurora, Riva, and Magnus convince you to come back to the as Aurora calls it, the stinky bed wagon, which is different than the stinky clothes wagon that her and Riva seem to find themselves in a lot when they're traveling. And you find a hammock bed. They're all hither and nigh on top of each other. You hear talking. They talk back and forth, and then slowly the talking starts to dissipate. You sleep off the night away, and slowly you open your eyes to the morning of the regular noise in the circus. Krellin, it's a new welcome noise to you. Everyone seems happy. You haven't heard any screams of torture. You didn't.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Ruja, you had a quiet night. You feel like you've recovered. Mm-hmm. And it's morning again. You hear the bustling around.
Circus.
Mm-hmm. Typical circus.
Lulled me to sleep and returned me to my senses.
You feel comfort by the fact that you know you're safe here. That's the one thing you feel certain about in life, is you're safe here. You wake Krellin to Aurora and Riva discussing something called dough rings that they're hoping is on the breakfast table this morning. It's nice you don't have to make breakfast, Riva.
Dough rings.
Mm-hmm. They're delicious.
Yes, they're rings made of dough.
Are you on breakfast duty?
I don't know. I should go now.
Oh, bye.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was starting to get dressed. I'm just because it drinking late night. Yeah. I don't have to clean.
You were living the high life for all of a few hours, and then you're like, oh wait.
Yeah.
Follow Riva for the next couple of days because he has been tasked the person to train me in my new duties.
Okay, the four of you empty out of the hammock wagon. Ruja, you're coming out as well, feeling a little better, heading towards everyone's converging on the mess tent. And Aristodemos comes walking up to Riva and Krellin, who are kind of moving a bit quicker, and he motions to Krellin, may I have a word with you this morning before you get to duty.
My most gracious of hosts.
Okay, he motions and takes you off. Aurora, Magnus, and Riva are standing kind of stopped. Ruja, you see from your wagon across, you see this happening. What do you think? Hi, Ruja.
Hi there.
What do you think they're saying?
Aristodemos is probably acquiring whatever information that Krillin has that he knew about.
Oh.
This is how things normally go.
Oh.
They won't be long.
Can anybody hear them? Not that... I'm just wondering.
I don't think so.
The noise of everyone walking around in the kitchen starting up and that has drowned them out. You see Aristodemos pat Krellin on the back and nod, and he gives his expressions are always overdone and then like this. Mm-hmm. And then Krellin, you have this conversation and head back. Aristodemos says, I actually have something to ask the group you're with right now, and I hope you will join them. He smiles. Good morning, Ruja. Aurora. Riva, you're not on dish duty today. You must be so happy.
Yep.
Magnus. I have, as often the case, we have another task to complete. It will mean that you're not able to, those of you doing acts tonight. However, Ruja, he looks to you. He says, this is of some import. We found that it's a bit of a task, but there is an adjacent land, and apparently some fabulous creatures are there. We'd like to collect them for the circus.
Creatures?
Yes.
Collect?
Feet.
It's easy. It's easy. Look. He pulls out a little box. He holds it out to you all. It's not hard. They're just in some mines or caverns or something like that. I've been warned there may be some little difficulties, but nothing serious. Not like yesterday. However, we are happy, of course, to have Krellin with us. But this is just some little creatures. And
Little creatures for the circus.
Just a little, but quite fantastic. I hear that there will be quite an impressive addition. You know, Ruja, since we lost our last tamer, we've been missing that act quite a bit. So just throw the box down, bam, everything will be good, and then come on home.
How many of these creatures should we seek to acquire?
Oh, I would, maybe 4 or 5. They're only supposed to be about this big. And calm, Magnus. I can see you're worrying. There's nothing to worry about. Please roll MR.
Who, me?
Yeah.
My mental resistance is 232. Any minus? Or shall I just roll?
Just roll. Tell me what you roll.
I roll 60.
Okay. You feel a wash of it. Again, that security that comes with the circus. But it passes. I promise you won't be in any kind of serious danger.
Aristodemos?
Yes.
So who's going to be the new who's going to be the new tamer?
Oh, well, that is yet to be seen. I'm not sure. We have to see exactly what kind of talents or what kind of performance we can get out of this creature. The little robot comes up. But yes. Okay. He looks over your shoulder. We will figure it out, Riva. Maybe, who knows? I do have to get going. I know you're going to be great. Ruja. He smiles.
She'll smile towards him again, but it's a closed mouth smile.
Okay. He seems to take note of that, and then... Good luck, my friends, and don't worry, it'll be a good way to get to know each other more. He points to Krellin, as he seems to have included him in your group. And, good luck. Okay, he walks away. He heads over and he goes to those two twins that look exactly the same.
Well,
What kind of animals? What kind of tamer act? We sure do seem to get a lot of jobs.
The odd jobs. I guess that's what Aristodemos sees in us.
Yeah.
well, I don't know if he sees you as odd, Rusha. I think he sees us as the odd jobs, and I think officially you're just babysitting us.
I'm sorry.
Well, I am certainly learning more here than I was without. Shall we be on our way?
Maybe if we're quick, we'll be back tonight. And you can still do your act.
Maybe so.
Okay.
Very well, I'll get my book on snails.
I don't think there's snails. Oh,
Just in case.
great.
How are we traversing to this
Oh.
nearby land?
I remember. Oh, you weren't with us. There's the doors just right over there. She points. You see, there's some buildings that raise up, and then you can see the curvature. And then once you realize where you are, Krellin, you've been here long enough that you realize you're right beside the main door that comes through the Gaia door, and they've just planted this circus in kind of an open lot that's not used for a lot. It's not used for terribly much. And they've spread the circus out in there. You actually see the big top is further ahead and a bunch of side tents. They've been here for at least a week, it sounds like. The door is just right there.
Oh, yes, okay, of course. I was thinking of grabbing a book myself if it was a long journey, but it doesn't seem like there's much of a point if we're just going through one of those.
Exactly, Magnus.
Huh?
All right. You turn and make your way. Ruja, you're not feeling up to really going with this party again on another mission. However, roll PR.
I rolled an 84, but my PR is 85.
Woo! Nice!
I've been cutting it close today.
Hey, as long as you're under, that's all that matters. You realize that as you're thinking about it and rolling your eyes and you hear Magnus and Aurora yip-yapping at each other, you do get sent with new people to assess them often, and Aristodemos tends to rely on that assessment of people by you quite often, since you are so able to quickly read which way a being is going to go. So you're sure that's why you've been sent with someone.
Aristodemos works in mysterious ways.
He certainly is mysterious. Okay, Aurora kind of looks after Aristodemos for a minute. And you make your way, you're slowly coming out of the tented area, out onto the main street. You go past all the main things. Magnus, are you coming? What are you doing?
Oh yes, of course.
You go down the main city street. It leads straight to the door. That's the way this land has been set up. As you approach it, you see the green crystal flashing. A lot of people don't seem to be using this space quite often. You actually haven't seen any speeders go this way or any real traffic head out this way at all. But you do know that there are a few other doors to this land that seem to be more frequently used.
May I, as we're walking toward the door, getting it ready and going out, may I use telepathy and speak with Magnus?
Well, you can attempt to, yeah. I don't know what Magnus' reaction will be.
Let's see here. I need a 159. Shouldn't be too hard. Please don't fail. 72. Okay, so...
+1 for awesome sounds.
Okay, Magnus allows the telepathic link in when he notices it's Riva.
Hey, Magnus. I know you're feeling iffy about Aristodemos and the circus and just about, everything around here. If we can figure out our issue with those nasty, nasty coven members, then we don't have to stay here anymore. If we can find another place that's just as safe or fix our issue, then we're good to go.
Yes. Pay it no mind, my young friend. It's not that there's just something about Aristodemos that I don't like. But I think the circus is pretty safe for us now. But you're right. I've been looking through the library, and if I find any more information about this coven...
Wait. Are we through the door yet?
You're just approaching it now. The door is still closed, however.
Oh, you know what? Let's just not pay any mind to it. Hold on 1 second, and I'll sever the link.
Okay.
And I'm gonna wait till we go through the door, and then I'll start talking to him again.
+2. Very good. Okay.
So it's gone.
Okay. Suddenly, Riva seems to disappear from your mind.
I just do this like, don't you dare.
Aurora is talking to you, Krellin, about clothes.
Oh yes. The fashion sense of every place I've been to, it often differs quite interestingly. But I see there's many well-dressed among us here.
Okay, you make it to the door there. Aurora puts her hand up. There seems to be a momentary pause, and then the door opens. You see the shimmer that often reflects between lands. Everyone kind of looks. It's a larger door.
I saunter through.
Okay. You all make it through.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly the Riva's back at your mind.
Okay, so what were you saying? Because I just wanted to wait. My apologies.
The door closes.
What? Yeah, well, yes, I thank you for your concern, my young friend. But
And you have a plan?
a plan, it's a bit of a strong word. I have an inkling.
What is your inkling?
My inkling is that I will look for more inklings.
I would also, if you see any, look into other places similar to the circus. Perhaps a safety area or a zone. That way we have an option in case we don't like it here. We don't have to say, well, suck it up.
Oh, very well. I will be on the lookout for such a thing.
Yeah.
Your telepathic connection is interesting.
Oof.
Hello? Hello?
Me.
Riva. Riva, come in.
That you're calling.
Okay, Magnus is tapping his head. Come in. Riva.
What are you doing?
I'm sorry. Riva, are you still there?
Are you saying anything out loud?
No.
Okay. Is there something wrong with your head?
No. I'm just fixing my hair.
Sometimes you're really strange. It's okay, because nothing's strange in Gaia, but you're kind of ultra strange.
Well,
In a good way.
Doesn't that just make it more charming, though?
You're okay. He blushes.
And I also wink at Magnus.
+1.
He's really trying to get in on that.
He's trying to get in on just about anything.
Rougeau, as Magnus and Riva's conversation was going on, Krellin and Aurora have been talking about clothes, and at least that's something that's semi-interesting to you. You do talk a bit about your act. Rouge has probably one of the main feature. You have a solo tent. Rouge has a solo tent and does her act there. It's a magical, exotic pole dancing act that makes the circus a good amount of money.
This piques Krellin's interest. Well, I have to sit down on your act at some point. It sounds very entertaining.
Well, if you have the skill, perhaps we could put on one together.
Oh, I absolutely have the skill, darling.
Aurora is standing between you two. I'm working on an act too.
Oh, yes, and what is your act?
It has robots.
Oh, robots are one of the most interesting things I've found on Gaia.
Mm-hmm. I know. I like them.
You have a unique way with robots, Aurora.
Thank Thank you, Ruja. You mean unique good, right?
Usually I do.
Unique is always good.
Aurora does not notice you didn't answer her question. I know they're not like, I don't think they're like the Junker bots. They seem to come out of the very ground. It's amazing.
I was reading in one of my books, yes. I believe they are Gaia constructs. The very underlings and fairies of Gaia.
Or it seems
My
like a very
robots?
interesting ability indeed.
Wow. Well, that's interesting. I wonder what that means. Okay, you come out. There seemed to have been a road, and it's held on to the city a bit as you first started walking through, the same kind of cobbly stone road. Then it gives away to a well-traveled gravel type road, and you can see ahead there are some ramshackle type wooden houses that have long fallen apart, and straight ahead there's a mine. It actually goes right up to the side of the Gaia dome. So there's the dome piece and it goes up. It creates the illusion of being a very tall mountain. However, you realize this isn't a very large land given how quickly you've come to this area. And before you see some tracks starting, the mining cart type tracks ahead that go each into cave entrances. It looks like it's been abandoned for quite some time. The grass and all the grass and the bushes are kind of a purpley orange. The rock is green and it goes up to a green sky, so it almost disappears into it. You have not, any of you, been in this land before.
While we're walking as well, I make a point to at some point in the conversations go up to Magnus and start inquiring about snails.
+1.
No.
Krillin gets
This one is called the
snails.
Outer Rims sludgy snail. It's a very interesting snail. It only occurs in the Outer Rims. The small one here, it is the arc core snail. It actually has an electrical charge. Many people use it to power small electrical devices.
Oh, look, the mines.
I am genuinely fascinated.
Please don't have any snails in the mines. Okay, you come walking up to the mine and such. It looks like once upon a time it was well used, but it has long since dried up or been in ill use because these tracks are broken up. The little bridges aren't quite stable. So he said in the mines, right?
In the mines or in the caverns, so yes, in the mines.
Magnus tries to use his touch sense to feel what's coming out of the mines. Is there noxious gases? Is there dangerous radiation? Is there little beasties?
Great thinking. You definitely detect metal, which leads you to believe it was a Gaia metal mining endeavor. You also detect some Gaia crystal as well. There is some power back there. The base power that is behind a lot of Gaia's systems. Roll your memory now.
Oh, all right. His memory, as I already said, is 130. He's quite studious, good memory. 50 is
snails.
Normal success.
The power, at first, you feel an intense power. It's almost flickering or blinking, and suddenly you remember that power. It's actually the first thing you remember is that power of the pods.